Hey, Ridiel here, bringing you a deck tech from Mardu Midrange. This one was a 5-0 list today on the Penny Dreadful site from Acarecan. I ran into them playing it in a league and had a really good time playing against it. Looks like an awesome deck and really excited to play more with it today. It's basically throwing in some of the most powerful spells in this color and slamming them all into one deck. With Hymn to Turok, Vindicate, Blightning, and Goblin Dark Dwellers to recast them from the graveyard afterwards. I'll go quickly through the rest of the cards here. Cling to Dust, just a great option in the mid-range control decks with black. 4 Burst Lightning for the early interaction and potentially damage to the face later in the game. Heartless Act, pretty great removal spell here. The 4 Hymn to Turok. Angrath's Rampage. This one's a great option for any of the decks that are just trying to play 1 or 2 big threats. And then we got 4 Rakdos Signet. Since this deck is playing 10 tap lands, it's really nice to have a turn 2 play that guarantees you have 3 mana on turn 3. And it can also help us ramp into the Dark Dwellers or the Giants faster. Given the 3-color deck, we've got Painful Truths. This gets us a draw 3 for 3 mana potentially, which is awesome for a deck that doesn't play blue. Slag Storm to deal 3 to each creature or 3 to each player. This is an awesome card with the Goblin Dark Dwellers, as we can play it early and then later play it to deal 3 to our opponent if we're in a controlling matchup. We got the Vindicates just to deal with any problematic permanents, lands, enchantments, anything that we wouldn't be able to kill otherwise. Blightning for some more hand attack, discarding 2 cards and dealing 3 to our opponent in the process. Desecration Demon's probably the biggest threat we'll get for 4 mana in these colors. The 6/6 flyer is awesome and will finish off any games quickly once it lands. And then we've got the Tectonic Giant. This is a really great value creature, potentially letting us draw an extra card or just finish off our opponent with 6 damage a turn. Do a quick overview of the mana base. As you'll see, we're trying to get Hymn to Turok on turn 2 while also having access to things like Vindicate, Blightning, Slag Storm. In order to get that, we need these filter lands that are legal this season. Fetid Heath and Graven Cairns give us 5 options for double black on turn 2. As well as we have a couple of tap lands like Nomad Outpost and Lava Claw Reaches. Rounding it out, we've got 4 temples. Because this deck doesn't have very much card selection, it's nice to have a little bit of extra scry from the land base and help us get exactly what cards we need when we need them. Quickly go into the sideboard here. We've got Luminarch Ascension. This is one of the best options against any of the control decks that we have. If you land this on turn 2, you're probably going to be able to win the game if they can't remove it quickly. We have 3 Duress, just as some more early interaction against any of the controlling or mid-range decks. 2 Flaying Tendrils. This is a great card against Dredge, as it'll exile any of their creatures that come back. And it's also helpful against any of the low drop decks like Merfolk or Zombies that might be running around. We've got the Shatterstorm here. This is just against Affinity. Slag Storm, Burst Lightning are going to help, but Shatterstorm can really finish off by taking care of most of their land base as well. Kumbal is a great option against Storm or any controlling builds. It's going to help us gain some life against Burn as well, which is an awesome play. And then we've got 4 Spellbomb here. Again, we've got Dredge and Reanimator in the format, so it's really nice to just have a catch-all graveyard removal here. Playing 2 Kumbal and 4 Spellbombs. I already played 2 matches with the deck and won both of them. I'm going to do a quick overview of that here. I started out today playing 2 rounds of this deck and won pretty quick games, so I figured I would just watch the replays real quick, just give some thoughts on the deck and my play, and then we'll get into some live games after that. So this first game, I think it was a mulligan to 5. Yeah, so we start the game with Signet, Burst Lightning, and Painful Truths. Opponent on the Wandering Fumarole. We play the Signet and draw Hymn to Turok. So after seeing this, I'm pretty sure that the opponent is on the Blue-Red Drake's deck. Pretty slow, kind of control-y deck, trying to get out Improbable Alliance and Crackling Drake. Let's see, we draw another Signet, and instead I play the Painful Truths, draw 3, take 3 life, find my land drop, and pass it on to them. Here I go for another Signet, and I think a Hymn to Turok here. The opponent with Stubborn Denial, but I had 1 mana left on the Signet, and Izzet Charm, I think, to actually counter it, yeah. So a little bit of a misplay on the opponent's part there, since I did have the 1 mana to pay for the Stubborn Denial. Maybe they were just a little unfamiliar with the spell or didn't notice I had the mana floating. So I still got 2 cards out of it with the Hymn, so not too bad there. And the opponent slams a Drake right away on turn 4, so pull out the Ingress Rampage, hit the Wandering Fumarole with the Vindicate, and now we're just looking to find a threat so we can start beating down. We are at 7 mana on turn 6. Just holding up Burst Lightning for another Crackling Drake. There's the Improbable Alliance, but no blue mana, and there we go, Tectonic Giant. Without any blue, we know we're not going to get countered here, and this is just an awesome play. We're going to be able to look at the top 2 cards and draw an extra card every turn basically against them. Ooh, they cast Vanishment for the full 5 mana. We looked at the top 2, found another Tectonic Giant, so now the top of our deck is a Tectonic Giant because of Vanishment, and we've got another Tectonic Giant coming into play. Opponent with Dovin. So Dovin's going to make the instants cost more, but Ingress Rampage has a 3rd mode on it. Target player sacrifices a Planeswalker. So for just a simple 3 mana here, we get rid of Dovin, find another land off the Tectonic Giant, and we scry a Desecration Demon to the top. Opponent draws 3 off Treasure Cruise, little Boiler works, bounce the island back to their hand. We attack with the Giants, just dealing the 3 damage, so we get in for 12 or 9 after the block with the Fairy. Throw down a Desecration Demon. We've probably pretty much got this one in the bag here, and don't know if Blue-Red has any mass bounce spells in their main deck. And yeah, the opponent sees it, even with 7 cards in hand. We're attacking for 12 plus potentially 18, or plus 6 up to 18 with the Tectonic Giants. Alright, let's check out game 2 now. Alright, we're into game 2 here against a blue-red opponent. We've got an alright hand. We've got the 3 lands, Blightning, some card draw, and a couple of threats. And they start off with Izzet Boiler Works, which enters tapped and returns itself to its owner's hand. And they immediately concede the game. So round 1, not too interesting. Like I said, we're just doing the quick recordings here. Let's get right into round 2. Alright, so match 2, we are looking at a pretty good starting hand. We got Temple, Cairns, Mountain, Hymn to Turok, Blightning, Painful Truths, and Vindicate. Keeping that. Opponent starts off and they are zombies. I haven't actually run into zombies yet this season, but it's Halloween week, so it makes sense. We'll start off with the Temple of Silence. Probably scry the reaches to the bottom. We've already got 3 lands. We're probably set with this hand. Speed it up. And the opponent hits us with Hymn to Turok, discarding our Hymn to Turok and a Blightning. So we've got no longer got a turn 2 play, but at least they didn't hit our lands. We drew a Nomad Outpost for that turn, and the opponent played a Graveyard Marshal. And now we're probably looking at playing a Vindicate on that Graveyard Marshal. We definitely don't want the opponent getting the graveyard value out of that one. Alright, Undead Augur. So that'll draw them a card whenever you kill one of their zombies. Pretty good card for them. Let's see. Alright, well we do have a Dark Dwellers now, so if we get to 5 mana, it's a pretty good play to flashback something. Let's hit them with Blightning, get rid of half of that hand. They probably have some 3-drops in there. They discard the Cemetery Reaper and another Sarcomancy. So not too bad for us. We're still under a lot of pressure here. Oh, and another Hymn to Turok takes care of our draw and the rest of our hand discard. So we really need that 5th land for the Dark Dwellers. We don't find it, but we do find a turn 4 or turn 5 Tectonic Giant, so not the worst. Decent blocker here. Oh, and they find Death Touch off the Death Baron. So we're forced to block the Undead Augur. We lose the Giant, we don't get an attack trigger, and they also draw a card. So really rough there. We do find the land for the Dark Dwellers. Alright. Vindicate, Death Baron, let's see what we can do. Heartless Act on the Dark Dwellers. And another zombie. We are in a pretty rough spot. Slag Storm, alright, we're sticking it out just a little bit here. Yeah, another creature, okay. Burst Lightning, we're still in it. And that'll probably do it. A Cemetery Reaper. Signet is not what we need. Another Reaper. Gonna need another Slag Storm or a Dark Dweller. And it's a land. So the sideboard here, we're going to be bringing in the Flaying Tendrils and potentially Duress or Kimball just for another blocker, and the Duress just so that we have some action against some of these spells we've seen, this Hymn to Turok, this Heartless Act. I definitely don't think I want to be casting Painful Truths and paying 3 to gain or to lose 3 and draw 3. I'd rather just try and get a look at their hand and get rid of a removal or something there. So let's get into game 2 here. Alright, so we saw a lot of land in the first hand. This one's keepable. Looks like I did actually keep the Painful Truths in. I didn't bring the Duresses in the second game. I think I brought them in the third game. We'll take a look later though. So yeah, I just got rid of the Painful Truths. Maybe that was when I realized that I definitely don't really want that card right now. Alright, well we do have the turn to Hymn to Turok if we want. I opted to go with the Signet instead, ramping up to the Desecration Demon, potentially if we draw an untapped land. Okay, we didn't, but we did find a Temple. Get rid of the Painful Truths to the bottom, and the Hymn to Turok comes out. Nice, we hit Undead Augur and Death Baron. Alright, turn 3 opponent is still stuck on 1 swamp, so that's pretty good for us. We've got a Desecration Demon play here, and a Dark Dwellers next turn with 5 mana. Alright, they make the attack with all of the creatures. So we block the zombie token, and they play another Carnophage. Okay. So I think this one's just, yeah, Dark Dwellers, Hymn to Turok. Just take apart the rest of their hand. Nice, we hit another Heartless Act and Hymn to Turok, so even if they do find that swamp, they're probably not going to kill our demon. Okay. Oh, they had a Hymn to Turok left. Well, Kambal's not the worst thing to lose here. Yeah, and they can't even attack here. Alright, another Dark Dwellers, so 4/4 Menace. Can't complain. Time to probably start attacking with the demon. So yeah, opponent being stuck on 1 land for the first 3 turns was really helpful here. Yeah, it looks like they're pretty much just dead no matter what. The Menace creatures get in. If they block with the Cemetery Reaper, we kill that, so they're left with just one Carnophage here on the other side. And they're at 3 with another Tectonic Giant coming down. Yeah. That's game 2. So yeah, I think after this, I realized the Painful Truth's definitely not what I want to see in this matchup. And I think I bring in the 3 Duress in that spot. Let's take a quick look. Alright, so this is a nice start here. We see the Duress, and yeah, I brought the Painful Truths out, and a Hymn to Turok as well. And yeah, we've got Burst Lightning, we've got Angrith's Rampage, we've got some interaction for the early creatures here. Now this is a misplay. And this sometimes happens when you're looking at your opening hand and you're on the draw and you draw something that potentially changes that play. The Lava Claw Reaches coming in tapped meant that I couldn't double spell here. With this Graven Cairns, I still would have been able to play Angrith's Rampage on turn 2 while also dropping a Swamp to duress them on turn 1. So I should have played Swamp, Graven Cairns in that order, use the duress on turn 1, have the Rampage on turn 2. You know, it's just the minor things, but if you don't pay attention to those, you're definitely losing a little bit of value in your game plan. Okay, so here we draw Hymn to Turok. Doesn't really change our plan. I think we still just want to use a Burst Lightning here and Duress to maybe take care of their hand. Alright, Duress, and we see Cemetery Reaper, Undead Augur, and a Swamp. Now here, another misplay I make. I fire off the Burst Lightning on a zombie. So after seeing Undead Augur, which draws them cards, and Cemetery Reaper, which buffs their whole team, I should have been holding up the Burst Lightning for when they play those pre-combat. Most likely they have the Swamp, most likely they're going to drop it, play the Cemetery Reaper, swing for 9, and I can just use the Burst Lightning, remove the Cemetery Reaper right there. I don't have a board wipe here, so I think that's the best play I should have made. Here they go, the Cemetery Reaper. We know their hand has Undead Augur and something else in it. And here I could have had the Burst Lightning, and I would have taken 6 off the creatures, but at least I wouldn't have to deal with a Lord keeping things scary. And, you know, I got lucky and I top decked the Flame Tendrils. We only have 4 board wipes in the deck, and there it was, 4 out of 50. Pretty much wins the game on the spot there. The Undead Augur's coming out. Gonna use Angrith's Rampage. Get rid of that. Oh no, I used Hymn to Turok to get rid of the Feed the Swarm and Graveyard Marshal. Not sure about that play. That's interesting. Let's see. Alright, Tectonic Giant. They have another land. They swing in with the Augur. And, okay, I blocked with the Giant. They draw a card. Okay, we find our land. Here we play the Rampage and the Kumbal. They find another land. Looks like they're flooded here. Probably just drop the Desecration Demon. Yeah, Dark Dwellers, Hymn to Turok, target them. It looks like they're flooded. They probably just have lands in hand. Yeah, it's a Dark Ritual in a land. So that's going to do it for match 2. We got in game 3, the lucky top deck on the Flame Tendrils. Should have played a little differently with that Burst Lightning once I saw their hand with the Duress. Obviously, Duress doesn't feel great against zombies, but it feels a little bit better than draw 3, lose 3 life for 3 mana. We just don't have the time to take off turn 3 to play a draw spell like that. Alright, well, we're going to get into the live matches starting with round 3 of this league, and see you there. Alright, we are playing against Carmendor. They are a pretty active player in the leagues. They could pretty much be on any kind of deck. They normally like to play more aggressive decks. Looking at this starting hand, we've got the tap land turn 1 into the both Graven Cairns, so we're going to have access to all of our colors of mana. Turn 2, Hymn to Turok, plus Vindicate and Tectonic Giant. This is exactly what we want to see on the play here. I'm going to keep it. Alright, Carmendor also keeps 7. Here we go. Nomad Outpost. Lava Claw reaches. Alright, maybe they're doing something similar here. Let's find out. Hymn to Turok. Okay, Ruin Raider and Chain Lightning. Let's get my preview pane up here. So this is a Rakdos aggro deck that I think somebody else 5-0'd with today. Very low to the ground. Not too much burn, primarily creature base. Okay, so they're starting with a Diregraph Ghoul. This is an interesting decision here. We could do the Angrass Rampage, or we could play the Vindicate. After drawing a Dark Dwellers, I don't mind playing the Vindicate. We'll probably get that back. If I were to Vindicate anything, it would be this land here. Since we're playing a black-red deck, and we don't see another mountain. Okay. Oh, okay. We might have an issue here. I don't think we can actually play Vindicate because of the lands here. Because we need... Yeah, these can only tap... We're going to need to tap the outpost for a color. Alright, so the mana base has gotten us a little bit here. Yep. Well, we will do Angrass Rampage, target player sacks a creature, and just move it on into turn. Okay, Stormfist Crusader. That's going to help us probably, actually. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. Okay, Blightning. That's a good card as well here. Deal 3, make him discard 2 more. So for an aggro deck, they really haven't been able to beat down very quickly here. Alright, they had a Hymn of their own they weren't able to cast. Let's see if we get a land. Nope, another giant. Really looking for that 4th land here. Chain Lightning in our face, alright. And another Chain Lightning. Alright, we are down to 11. Okay, we have a Burst Lightning. So I believe they're already down to 1. We definitely are just going to want to take care of the Crusader. They only have 1 card in hand. Okay. Oh, they hit us with the Hymn, taking both Tectonic Giants. Still have a 3rd one. Let's get another land here. No, alright. No, alright. We do have the Cling to Dust. So we can cling a non-creature spell and draw a card. If we do that, we might want to, because we can't cast any of these spells anyway, I think we'll want to tap the Graven Cairns for black. Okay, so let's hit the Hymn to Turok, one of them that they have. Draw a card. Okay, Signet. So now we're going to have our 4 mana next turn. Potentially even a 5th mana if we get the another land. We've got the Dark Dwellers. Oh no, Judith is a really great card with Kari Zev here. It means we're taking 5 off of this attack. Yikes. Alright, we really do need something big here. So let's see, if we play Tectonic Giant, they're still getting in with these 2. They can make this a 2/2 and swing in, so that would lose us the game. And Angreth's Rampage, not going to do it either. They sack a creature. That might be our best option though. Oh, and then they have the Lava Claw Reaches. Yeah, we're still dead. Yeah. Okay. That was a tough one. Well, we won't need our Painful Truths here. Let's get our Flaying Tendrils in and some Duress. No Cling to Dust needed. And maybe... I don't really want to take out any removal. If anything, would be a Hymn to Turok, but that's also a great card. I could see dropping 1 Dark Dwellers just because it's a 5 mana play. Alright. Well, let's hope the mana works out and we can get enough lands to play all of our spells this time. That's not a great start. And neither is that one. Okay. We do have Tendrils. Okay, so I think we keep... We get rid of the Temple. And we get rid of... probably Vindicate. Okay. So play our Outpost, and yeah, that's really rough having to mulligan to 5. I mean, we have 22 lands, plenty of lands to get 2 lands and a Signet in our starting hand. We'll see if they take the Signet here or the Flaying Tendrils. Okay, they took the Tendrils. Oh, nice. I think I still want to start with the Signet, but we do have a Hymn to Turok next turn if we want. And Stormfist Crusader is going to draw cards for us. Alright, yeah, I think I like playing Kambal. They don't block the Stormfist, but if our opponent chooses to burn our face, they're going to have to burn Kambal first. Alright, they're playing the Ruin Raider. So we're going to get another card draw here. It was a swamp. Okay. Just to be mana efficient, I think we will do the Vindicate here. Take care of the Ruin Raider. I know they have haste creatures in that deck, so I'm going to stay back with Cabal here. Draw another one, which is not a great draw, I don't think. We're just looking for a land here. Judith, okay. Wow. We just cannot find a fourth land here. We do find Slag Storm. Depending on how much they commit to the board here, Slag Storm could be great. Oh, Earthshaker Kenra. That'll just make Cabal can't block. Oh, man. And a Phoenix that comes back from the graveyard with haste. Yeah. That's going to be probably a good game right there. Yeah, just too late right there. I mean, we can wipe the board, but Phoenix comes back as a 3/3. This will come back. They can attack with that. Wow. So not too great against aggro here. Or at least not that aggro deck. Alright, that was a tough one. Very aggressive deck. And we just couldn't find that fourth land in both games. And, you know, that just happens sometimes. We are kind of relying on these signets a little bit to ramp us, and you do need 2 lands in your opening hand to keep a hand with signets. So a little worse. You know, if this was a 3-land hand, we would be able to keep it, but with signets we can't. Oh wow, this is funny. We do not have red yet. Definitely a keep, but I think we get rid of Cling to Dust, just in the dark. Pretty marginal card. Alright, Temple and a Dark Dwellers. Let's put that on the bottom. We're going to need some sort of red land before we can even cast that. Alright. Let's do another Temple. There we go, Rakdos Signet. That's what we like to see. Now, opponent, this one is choose target creature, you lose 2 life. When it dies, return tapped. Okay, so they could be white-black Clerics, kind of like a enters the battlefield or when it dies triggers. Eily, Eternal Pilgrim, Death Touch, sack another creature, you gain life, sack another creature, exile a permanent. Nice. Okay. Well, sadly for them, we are going to kill it. And the mana's working out. There we go. We had our Signet play and a 2 mana play on turn 3. So 4 mana next turn for sure. Potentially 5 mana with a land. Archfiend Vessel. If it enters from the graveyard or you cast it from the graveyard, exile it, create a 5/5. It's pretty scary. I'm considering vindicating their black source. we know that they're a double colored deck. Maybe I should wait. Let's just hold off. We've got Heartless Act and Burst Lightning up, so we'll wait. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I don't really want to kill any of those creatures. Alright, let's hit them with the hymn. They had a hymn of their own and a 4-drop. Whenever it or another cleric you control dies, return another cleric with less converted mana cost. Okay, so we're gonna definitely want some of our spell bombs and flaying tendrils out of the sideboard here. They don't look to be all that aggressive, at least. Maybe not with this hand. I think seeing this means that they have some high cost cards in their hand. I think I'm willing to use the Vindicate on their land at this point now. We saw them miss a land drop. Yeah, I don't know what else. Oh, they had Village Rites. Okay. Either Sworn Canonist. Can't play more than one non-artifact spell per turn. Well, at least it affects them as well. We are not Storm, so we don't care all that much about it. We really need to find one of our big threats here. Just need to answer things that they're doing here. I think I'm alright with a Heartless Act on the Canonist now. I don't want to be taking 3, but I'll take 1 per turn. Yeah, we're pretty flooded on mana sources now. But our opponent does not have any lands, so it is a 16-turn clock at the moment. Another Burst Lightning. No attack. Okay. Maybe they accidentally skipped through. And an Outpost. Wow, our opponent really is not getting those lands. Maybe, I mean, we do see they're playing these enters tap lands. Okay, they found the swamp. Cartel Aristocrat. Sack another creature. It gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Alright. Let's kill that, I guess. Or at least make them sack the vessel. Yeah. I don't love this play, but I mean, we really don't have all that many options for killing a creature like that. Just gonna hit that swamp again. Really looking for a real threat. Heartless Act. Not a threat, but it will remove whatever they get to play, hopefully. Alright, so they're going to have to discard to hand size. Another of these clerics that brings things back. Wow. Just finding the wrong half of the deck here. We've got 10 big threats in our deck and not finding them. But 25% chance about every turn here to find one. Opponent finds another swamp. Reanimate, okay. Cling to Dust, looking good right now. Don't have one, but I guess another hymn to Turok. Not ideal. Yeah, I mean, they're especially with this cleric, we're a fair mid-range deck, and if we try to answer them one for one here, we are just going to lose to these, them bringing cards back from the graveyard. Oh, I messed up the timing of that one. Alright, well, we still have a chance. Man, just not finding what we need here. Alright, finally found the goblin. Now we have options. I think it's going to be Vindicate on the cleric. Alright, and we'll pass it back to them. Oh, Vindicate on our goblin. Down to 7. Another land. Another goblin. Yeah, this is tough. This is where we really wish we had drawn a Slag Storm or something to wipe their board. I think it's just going to have to be Burst Lightning. I'll just kill one of these 1/1s with lifelink. Okay, we'll just hold the mountain this time. Okay, another Vindicate, that's good. Okay, they kept it on top. It's a little scary. Rampage. Yeah, I think we make them sacrifice one of these creatures. Alright, let's see what they leave on top. Ily Eternal Pilgrim. Oh no. Yeah, 3 mana, sacrifice another creature. Activate if you have at least 10 life more than you're starting. They've got it right there. Okay. Well, at least we have the Vindicate to clean up that creature. And I'll remember that for next time to make sure that we don't leave them at 30 life. If we can even get them down to 29 or something. With an attack from the Dark Dwellers there. Okay. Finally find a creature land. We only have 2 of those in the deck, but could be really helpful in this moment. Alright, Tectonic Giant. So here I just want to animate the Lava Claw. And leave up 4 mana for the Tectonic Giant. So I'll leave these lands. Alright, 7 damage coming in. I'm assuming they have some sort of removal, yeah. Alright, let's see if they have another removal spell for the giant. If they do, they're not using it yet. Will they let us attack with the giant? Alright, nice. We get to exile the top 2. We would choose Desecration Demon. Alright, this is looking a lot better now. Desecration Demon number 1. I guess we do have to consider if they have a board wipe. Would a deck like theirs play board wipes? They might. I don't necessarily want to risk it. Okay, they have a hymn. It's alright. Truths we can draw, but it's going to cost us life. Let's attack first with the giant. I do like the Blightning here. Let's see what else they were holding in hand. Probably just land. Another Archfiend's Vessel. Interesting. I haven't seen anything from them that actually deals us damage directly. One second here. Try and tap these lands correctly. Okay. Let's do it. Let's take 3. Draw 3. Okay. You know, maybe that wasn't worth it, but I don't think they have anything that will kill us here. Oh no. Are you kidding me? Okay, so they go reanimate on my Goblin Dark Dwellers. Then they get to cast an instant or sorcery from their graveyard. So they get another, what do they do, Vindicate? Another reanimate, okay. What do they reanimate this time? They're reanimating the Desecration Demon, which is a 6/6. Alright, okay. So we're alright. They have taken enough damage. Tectonic Giant will just attack for 3. We won't sacrifice any creatures. We will kick that. Alright, that was a little scary there. If they had a haste creature, or if I had a haste creature, we could have been dead there. Alright. Sideboarding. We've seen some non-creature spells, and I mean this is just a good blocker earlier in the game. Flame Tendrils kills without killing because it'll exile the creatures, and then at least 2 spell bombs, maybe more. Painful Truths. That's a tough one. They're a bit of an aggro deck, but they're not very fast. I think the Angrous Rampage I don't love, especially if we're bringing in Tendrils. Let's get rid of those. Maybe we don't need the Blightning, and maybe we don't need Cabal. We're going to be playing Slag Storms. And I don't really know how good the single target removal is with these Vindicates. Maybe we take out a couple of those. Bring Cabal back. Yeah, this is really tough because we don't necessarily want 1-for-1 removal spells against them, because they have a lot of things that come back from the graveyard. Alright, we'll just try it out with this. Alright, we're down about 2.5 minutes on the clock, so we'll have to play a little faster this round. Not a bad starting hand. We don't see white mana, but we should be okay. We've got a Burst Lightning to take care of a problematic creature that comes up. Alright, another Signet, so we're going to be ramping pretty quickly. We can get that mountain to the bottom. Alright, so this card was pretty good when they had 30 life. They don't have a ton of life. Okay, this is weird. A spell bomb against us. We're really not doing much with the graveyard other than the Goblin Dark Dweller. Don't really think that's necessary. I'm okay seeing it against an aggro or aggressive deck. Let's see, Duress taking Signet or Burst Lightning. Okay, they took the Lightning. I'm alright with that. We're really just trying to land these giants and use them as card advantage against our opponent. Here I'll play the Outpost. Yeah, next turn we have guaranteed 5 mana. You know, we can play a giant, or we could play Kumbal and another removal spell if we draw one. Okay, Painful Truths. Alright. Giant, we got a blocker. If they remove it, we're going to most likely draw some cards. Okay, look at the top two. Ooh, Flame Tendrils doesn't hit these 3 toughness creatures. That's rough. Alright, we will take the land then. Maybe I should have paid a little bit more attention to the toughness on their creatures before bringing out the tendrils. Well, Desecration Demon off the top is a nice draw. Actually, let's make sure to play Kumbal first. So if they're going to remove the demon or the Kumbal. Oh, I see. Okay. Village Rites. Oh, there goes our Desecration Demon. That's pretty nice. Tabarax. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1 counter. If it was a cleric, draw a card, you lose 1 life. Oh wow. Well, I think we would like to find a removal spell for that. There we go. Okay, so we can't do the Dark Dwellers because they do have the Spell Bomb up. So we will do 1 Burst Lightning. Do they have a way of sacrificing a creature? Is 1 mana sacrifice another creature? They have no mana up, so we are safe to kill it now. Then we can go to combat. Do they sacrifice the vessel? No. Okay, we get in for 6. Play another giant, and things are looking pretty good. Our opponent's down to 1 card in hand, or 2 cards in hand. You know, the Spell Bomb does... Oh, and they're even using the Spell Bomb to draw a card here. So, you know, our Dark Dwellers won't get really any value, but it's still a 4/4 blocker on the ground. Menace attacker. Yeah, I don't think we're in too bad of a spot here. Another Dark Dwellers. See if they sacked the demon this time. Nope. Okay, well, let's get some value out of the giant. bunch of lands. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll take a temple then. If we had 9, I might take the other one, but then we could cast the Dark Dwellers, or both Dark Dwellers. Okay, temple. We'll take another demon off the top and play Dark Dwellers. Yeah, so next turn we have the Menace Dark Dwellers, we have a Lava Claw Reaches. Yeah, they're down to 8 because of that spell. We're in a pretty good spot here. Another one. Now they're dead to the demon in the air. Okay, they have another blocker for the demon. And they concede. Alright, well that was a really long first game, very grindy. The white-black deck just being able to bring things back, and they do have a lot of value out of the graveyard. I don't really think their bringing in the spell bombs were a great decision. Let's see what else I brought in from the sideboard. So I took out the Rampages, Blightning, and Vindicate, just trying to find things that sweep their board a little better. Not a bad play there. Alright, we got the final match of the league. Right now we're 3-1, losing to a Rakdos Aggro deck, and we're looking at a hand with a little bit of early interaction with Burst of Lightning. We have the 2 Tectonic Giants. We don't have any access to Vindicate, but I think it's a good enough keep on the play here. Just pull up a preview here. I'll start with the mountain. Alright, looks like our opponent's on Affinity with the Darksteel Citadel right away. I think I might want to save this Burst Lightning for potentially a different threat here. Hopefully we can get that 4th land drop. And it'd be nice to find the white Sorcerer Vindicate as well here. Okay, there's the Cranial Plating and Frogmite. Okay, so here what we do is when they go to equip, we will use the Burst Lightning next turn. The regenerating of the artifact is going to be... Oh, now we actually have a second Burst Lightning. Alright, so we'll Burst Lightning probably in response on the other creature. So they go to equip pre-combat, hit them with the Burst Lightning, has to tap with the regenerate, and then they go to put on the other creature and we'll hit them with the Burst Lightning. Okay. Burst Lightning there. Probably just going to take the 4 here and leave up another Burst Lightning for their next cranial plating. This is tough. We could do the Blightning this turn. Let's wait until we actually have no play at all. Again, missing the 4th land drop with 22 lands is kind of tough. And 4 signets. Field of Ruin, interesting. Myr Enforcer, I have not seen this one in a while. Okay, so they suit up the Ornithopter this time. We'll wait for the combat. Attack. Oh, oops. Clicked one too slow here. So they're going to regenerate. Alright, so that was a little bit of a misclick there. Taking 7. Oh wait, no, regenerate removes it from combat. Totally blanked on that. So, taking 4. Okay, well it's not great, but I think we're still dead, right? We're taking 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean we're still dead. Yeah, missing the land drops. You know, not having the white mana for the Vindicate is tough. Alright, so definitely Shatterstorm. Tendrils is nice. Don't need the Blightning. Probably don't need the Painful Truths. Duress is fine. Him is still fine as well. Yeah, we just really need to be able to remove multiple permanents and potentially hit the Shatterstorm. There we go. We got Slagstorm, Tendrils, and then we have a Dark Dwellers and a Demon to follow up. We have 3 lands, so we can start with the Temple, get the Scry going. Great start. Alright, and a Signet. Sweet, that'll ramp us as well. That means we can play the Signet next turn and then Lava Claw reaches and still have 3 mana on turn 3. Wow, they already have the turn 1 Frogmite play. Nope, okay. Another Signal Pest is a good sign. Of course, this could be Myr Enforcer, the 4/4. One mana 4/4 here. Yep. Okay. So we have an option. We have Slagstorm versus Tendrils. I think since these are still small, I'll do the Tendrils. We don't have any answer for the Mirror Enforcer yet. If we get another land, we could end up with like Burst Lightning or something. I mean, granted, Desecration Demon's big enough to block it. Okay, Etch Champion is good. Oh, I see. So I should have actually probably held on to the Tendrils because that could deal with the Champion. But we still have, as long as we get another land drop, we have the Dark Dwellers to flash back the Tendrils for free. So as long as we're not seeing a Cranial Plating this turn, we're in an alright spot. The Etch Champion can get in. And there it is. Okay, so we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's rough. Okay, so we really need a land here for the Dark Dwellers. We don't find it. We don't have white mana for the Vindicate. Yeah, that's rough. That is really rough. So, yeah, we pretty much have to play another Desecration Demon. Yeah, and this is one of the downsides of these 3-color decks is, you know, when you don't get that third splash color of the Vindicate, you do kind of sometimes lose to a plating like this. I think they actually have lethal if they animate the factory here. Yeah, so I might have misplayed there, because they animate the factory, sacrifice, and then they have lethal on board. Yeah. I'm assuming they'll see that line. Again, one of the downsides of the Desecration Demon, so I actually should have played the Tectonic Giant there. Alright, well, we're seeing the 22 lands might be a little ambitious, missing land drops against these aggro decks when we really need to hit that 5 mana play is tough. We definitely do need... Oh no, the opponent accidentally passed through that step, which can happen with the Desecration... Yeah, the Desecration Demon trigger is right at the beginning of combat. Yeah, we should... I mean, we're not even going to win anyway here. Well, we will give it to them in the spirit of the game, I think, but... Oh, okay. No, they do win. Alright. Well, we'll just play a third one out. Mostly I just want to see the deck play more. See if we need more answers to aggro. Again, these one-landers, you know, maybe the Signet is a little bit of a, I mean, I know it's a bit of a downside in the opening hands, but it's definitely coming in to play right now. This is a tough one. We've got 2 Signets and him to Turok. Opponent's mulliganed, but we're not going to be able to play him on turn 2. So I think we get rid of a Signet and the him. Okay, let's see what they've got for us. Yeah, I mean, we did lose that game. We definitely do still need to work on the aggro matchups. You know, if you're playing a deck for the tournaments, you're going to run into at least 1 to 2 affinity lists, probably even in the Swiss rounds of 4 rounds. Certainly in the top 8. I don't know if we've had a top 8 that didn't have an affinity list in it. Alright, we find Flaying Tendrils. It's a nice draw as well. So if we don't hit our land here, we can at least use the Flaying Tendrils to survive another turn. Or, not survive another turn, but wipe the board a little bit. There's the Plating. Suit up the Frogmite, I'm assuming. Or the Signal Pest. I guess I can't block the Signal Pest at all, so... Get in for 8. Yeah, we missed the land drop, so we will play the Tendrils. We have Vindicate up, because I can still animate the factory, equip to the factory, and attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I don't think we need the Desecration Demon here. Shatterstorm next turn should be plenty. We'll keep it though. So we're looking at taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn, and then we'll Shatterstorm, clear the board. They'll be left with Seagate Wreckage and Darksteel Citadel. 2 Darksteel Citadels actually. So they're actually not in the worst shape. They just won't have any... oh, actually, they'll still have the factory. Wow. And it cuts us off of our Signet. So Shatterstorm actually not doing that much for us here. Well, let's hope it doesn't totally mess up our plays next turn, because yeah, now we need another land. Again, I'm making a misplay with this Desecration Demon staying on top, because I wasn't even putting that together. Yeah, we're dead in 2 turns here. Alright. I mean, like I said, we did lose game 2. The opponent just misclicked, so we're just playing it out to see how the matchup goes. Tectonic Giant. Need double red. They definitely have plenty of outs here. Another Ginger Brute. Etch Champion, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that's it. All right. So we definitely have some changes to make to this list. Let's look at it. So we lost to a Rakdos burn deck, we lost to Affinity, and they really weren't all that close matchups. You know, maybe Kumbal in the sideboard, you know, it's nice against Storm, nice against Control. Resolving Shatterstorm and still losing to Affinity is really sad too. Maybe we just need a Pyroclasm instead of the Flaying Tendrils. And obviously it's really tough to not be playing 4 Spellbomb. We probably don't need 4 Spellbomb, but as soon as you play against the Reanimator matchups, it feels like you want it. But of course we do have the Heartless Axe, we have the Ingress Rampage. We're actually not that bad against Reanimator if they don't have the turn 1 play. Let's trim. Let's get rid of the Tendrils in favor of, let's do 2 Pyroclasm and and then let's say, and it's tough of course because you really just have to choose the matchups, but there are more aggressive decks in general than you know, Storm decks. Like obviously when you run into Storm it's rough when you can't do anything, but we do have Hymn to Turok, we have Lightning, we have some hand disruption with the Duress. That, you know, that probably is what we have to just try and get there on. So we are looking at the gain 6 life in white, which is Timely Reinforcements. Do we want 3 of these? I think if we're adding 3 of these to the sideboard, we're definitely going to have to rethink the mana base a little bit. We already saw multiple games where we were having problems with Vindicate. Let's change the signets around a little bit. And I also wasn't actually that big of a fan of the Blightning here. 3 mana felt a little expensive. Just for like this deck, we kind of would rather be maybe deploying a threat here. Some sort of value card. I know there's one that I've seen. I don't know if I own any of it. Sin Prodder. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. Any opponent may have it into the graveyard. If they do, deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost. So obviously, you know, if it's a land, they bin it for free. But if it's not a land, you're basically drawing an extra card in red, which is great. I think it's probably worth a shot. It's a little weak because it dies to our own board wipes. Would definitely be a reason not to be playing it. Let's see what else we have access to. Looking for just things that can come back. Phoenix of Ash. The escape on this is cool. It's a nice threat. I don't think we're going to be dealing enough instant or sorcery damage with the Phoenix to justify Chandra's Phoenix, but Phoenix of Ash, definitely a potential here. And if we're increasing the signet count, we definitely could be changing, let's see, this is one I've wanted to try out, Lava Brink Venturer. This just I think this is the first season it's been legal. Came out in Acarecan. As it enters, choose odd or even. Has protection from each converted mana cost. So, you know, great blocker. I mean, it's a 3/3, so it'll die to Slagstorm, but it wouldn't die to Pyroclasm. If it has protection from odd, it won't die to Slagstorm. If the opponent is playing probably Burn, or depending on just what creatures they have out at the point, that point could be a pretty good blocker. Maybe that's an option here. Do the Lava Brink Venturer. I don't know if I'm at a spot where I would start main decking the Pyroclasms. We do have the Burst Lightning for the early interaction. You know, we do still have some, you know, the 2 Slagstorms. One thing I am thinking about is going down a Signet and up land. We were having issues with 22 lands getting to our 4th land drop without the Signets, or even if we had, you know, a 1 land double Signet or 1 land 1 Signet hand. You know, if those Signets were lands, we could definitely have kept those hands. Yeah, maybe we go, you know, obviously it could be just recency bias, but maybe add 1 more basic, trim 1 of the Signets, add just another 3 mana, you know, early creature that can interact well. Changing up the sideboard, you know, we've got a little bit better interaction against Affinity, Timely Reinforcements. I like these changes. I think I'm gonna try these out for my next time playing this deck, maybe in this weekend's tournaments or something. But yeah, thanks for watching. This has been a pretty fun deck to play with, and I'll see you next time.